stop the boats. And if you can't stop the boats, stop the benefits, because they'll stop coming because they're not getting nothing. They get a mobile phone, they get put in houses, they get £200 a week. They have more children because they get more benefits. This country is overrun and overpopulated. When's it going to stop? I've had enough. I'm working morning till night. I'm getting taxed left, right and centre. For what? And I see 3 illegal immigrants plotted up behind these bushes waiting to pounce. That could have been some woman going to work. That could have been someone's child going to school. You be careful. London's not safe no more. For our children, our children's children, what is this country going to be like in years to come when we're not here?
What's the excuse for you not being able to see your daughter?
She just won't let me.
How's it affected your mental health?
I'm giving away a stone. He's 6 foot, I'm 5'7". It doesn't bother me. It's bare-knuckle. When you get hit, you split.
So you've been to visit Tommy Robinson in prison?
They want to finish him in there.
Did it upset you?
Yeah, it did upset me. He's got a bigger set of balls than anybody I know. If you come into a country, be willing to work, pay your taxes. Don't kill. Behave your fucking self. You're in the UK. Abide by our rules.
I want to say a quick thank you to our sponsors, 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐢. I use their products every single day, and now I finally get to work with them. I use their products for anti-inflammatory, reduced anxiety, better sleep, and mental clarity. I'm going to put a link to their website in the description, along with a 10% discount code for you to take advantage of. Go and have a look at their website, see if there's anything in there for you. I hope you enjoy this week's episode, and good health.
Chas.
Liam.
We meet again.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you're on because I owe you one. Because the first time we done a podcast together, it was at the very start of my journey. I was very hyperactive and I spoke as much as you, where it's about the guest. So we're going to get straight into it. So you've got an up-and-coming bare-knuckle fight for on the BKFC platform in Dubai. Massive, against Aaron Chalmers from Geordie Shore. We'll cover that. He's got a height and weight advantage as far as I know. While you've been training for this fight, I know that you've been fighting other battles in your life, fighting for custody of your newborn baby. There's been an attempted terror attack that you've experienced, and there's a whole load of stuff that this is now the time to get off your chest. Fighting Aaron Chalmers, first of all, that's imminent. That's the 6th of April you're fighting him to Dubai.
The 5th of April.
It's the 5th of April. Okay. So how have you prepared for that fight, and what due diligence have you done on Aaron Chalmers?
None really. I've always been ticking over because I was meant to fight before that against somebody. They obviously pulled out, wanted me to get down to a lower weight, and I agreed. Then they wanted it lower, and then they just pulled out the fight. Just wanted a bit of hype. So I was always ticking over. Now I've stepped the game up. The fight's come about. Aaron Chalmers. Me and Aaron, listen, I've got nothing bad to say about the man. He's a gentleman. We've spoke. He signed for BKFC. There was a lot of comments in the comments. I'll do this and I'll do that and let's go. People wanting to fight him. And I just put a comment on there saying, would love to share the ring with you. One last roll of the dice. It'd be an honour. He's fought the likes of Floyd Mayweather his last fight. He was a great MMA fighter. He's done a few misfits boxing. He's a good fighter. Listen, he's a very technical, and I'm not going to take anything away from him. And I've trained my heart out. I'm the fittest I've ever been at 42 years old. And I'm not there to make up the numbers. I'm not. Look, I've stepped up 3 weights. First of all, the fight was agreed at 74 kilo. Then it was 75 kilo. Then he said 76 kilo. I'm not going no higher than that because it's ludicrous. I'm a 70 kilo fighter. So I've gone up 6 kilos. What's that to? That's a stone. I'm giving away a stone. He's 6 foot. I'm 5'7". It doesn't bother me. A fight's a fight. It's bare knuckle. Let's get in there and let's mix it.
So he's a full stone heavier than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, people that haven't been in the ring with someone, that's a massive weight advantage, isn't it?
It will be, yeah. He's got to get to 66. I can't give no more than that away. It'd be ludicrous. It'd be a death sentence.
I was going to say, does it bother you in the slightest?
76, I'll go for it. Look, potentially, this is my last roll of the dice. I've just signed a 3-fight deal with BKFC. So I've got to do 3 fights with them, which I've agreed to. I did want it to be my last roll of the dice, but let's see how we go, because I'm not there to make the numbers up, baby. And whoever knows me and whoever I've been in the ring with knows that I'm dangerous.
Is it going to be a strategic fight for you, or are you going straight in for the kill?
I'm going for the kill.
Going for the knockout.
Win, lose or draw, I want to wake up in hospital to know that I've been in a fight. I want to. I won't be happy otherwise. I want to know that I've got 8 stitches on that eye, 8 stitches there, broken nose. I give it my all. I went out on my heart, on my sleeve. I want to give the public their money's worth watching.
And are you the underdog for this fight?
I'm the underdog. I'm the opponent. Let's have it right. Look, it's a dream come true for me. It's a lovely payday, my biggest payday. I've been professional boxing, boxed for a world title, Southern Area champion. This BKFC in Dubai is my biggest payday. And I'm taking it with both hands. And listen, who knows? I could pull off the biggest win of my life. And then we're talking big bucks.
Can we talk about money, what they're paying for this fight?
I couldn't discuss that, but it's
substantial.
I'm comfortable.
Oh, good, because I think you lads deserve a big payday, because it's like gladiators back in the Roman times. I mean, it's barbaric. I mean, no one walks away without some serious injuries on there, and some of the shots you lads take. I mean, because a lot of you have got a pro background like you. So, and we spoke about your professional boxing background last time we sat together, but I never really went through your bare-knuckle journey. So just rattle off, I suppose, why you decided, like later on in your life, to get into bare-knuckle, because some people will think that's just fucking insanity. And then the journey, who you fought, what the outcome was, what you learnt from it, and, how you're going to use what you've learnt to go into this one in Dubai.
Bare-knuckle journey, I had my first ever fight 3 years ago. Went out there, and I remember saying to my trainer, don't worry about me, I'll box this geezer's head off. And I went out there and the fella went, bang, broke my nose, bang, 8 stitches across my left eye. I come back in the first round, I'll never forget it, and I went, my trainer went, what's happening? I went, I don't know. I said, but this hurts. Yeah, it shocked me. Second round was pretty even. Third round I got warmed up, and he looked like Bambi on ice, but I lost it. I lost it on a majority, on points, and I was black and blue. Then I won another 3, and then I went over to BKFC, like the American company, which is owned now by Conor McGregor and Dave Feldman. Went with them, and I fought Franco Taganelli. No one wanted to fight him. Obviously, you know me, I've got art of a lion. I fight anyone, win, lose or draw, but they offered me the fight. They went, we send you a video of the fella. I said, I don't want to see a video. I'll take the fight. It's done. I think I got $4,500 for that. I thought, that's lovely. Done all right. Again, I think I tried to box a little bit too much, and he stopped me in the second round. He knocked me down. The man's an animal. He was undefeated in anything goes.
Oh, yeah.
In the cages in Spain. And he's undefeated.
That's brutal.
He's the youngest, least experienced bare-knuckle fighter ever to be a world champion. He's had 3 fights in the BKFC. He's a world champion. His profile is massive. He's a great fighter. He's a warrior. And I've lost 1 fight for BKFC, and now I'm an opponent for 𝐿MT&x, but I haven't lost against an idiot. I've lost against a world champion. So be careful.
Well, there'll be a lot of people that follow you from your pro career, obviously when you got gloves on your hands. So just to give them an insight into what's the difference? How different is the sport with gloves compared to without gloves?
It hurts. But you can't use gloves to protect yourself. It's 2 bare knuckles there, and when that jab goes straight through in your nose, I'm lucky. My nose has already got this like rubber, but when it goes through, mate, it breaks. When you get it, you split. Your eyes close. Yeah, it's brutal.
So you go in differently?
Yeah, I haven't done, but this fight I am.
That was what I was thinking. If you took your Queensbury approach to the bare knuckle, and it's been a bit up and down. Surely it's got to be like I'm going in attack mode.
Yeah, we've got a game plan. I can't really talk about it too much on here. We've got a game plan. Everyone knows what I'm about. Everyone knows what I do.
More aggressive?
Of course. There's only one way Chas fights, and that's coming forward, sitting on your chest. Now I've got to be very careful. He's going to be a stone heavier than me. I'm coming up free weights. He's got height. He can bang. Let's not get it twisted. And my heart takes over sometimes, and I want to stand on his chest and I want to fight, whether I go down or he goes down.
How old is he?
38.
So he's of age as well then?
Yeah.
But you're what, 42 now?
42.
Why are you doing this at 42 when you should be putting your feet up, relaxing?
It's just in me. It's in me. I go through a lot. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, and it's something that releases me, and it's something to train for, to look forward for. And that fight, I couldn't explain the release I get from that fight. Each training session, the release I get from it, pushing because I know that I've got to do something. I grip my teeth like this has got to be done today. 3 o'clock in the mornings, I'm up. 3 o'clock.
Yeah, what's the boot camp? What's your training regime been? One of your best?
I would say so, mate, yeah. You know, big shout out to Mark. He's my fitness coach and strength and conditioning. 3 o'clock in the mornings, I'm up. We are in London by 4:15. And we do 10K every morning. Then we go to the gym. We get changed and we do strength and conditioning, weights, and sit up and have workouts. I'm underweight already.
You look good, mate.
I'm underweight and I've got 2 weeks to go, so I dread to see what weight I'm going to come in at. I'm trying to stay as I am, but I just can't. Then I train in boxing gym with Gary Rowland, my trainer. In the afternoons after work, I work all day as well.
Going back to the BKFC fight you got coming with Aaron Chalmers in Dubai. Now, flying to another country is a lot different from fighting South, North, East, West London, or even up north. Like you're in the UK, you know you're home. So is that daunting for you, or is it exciting?
It's exciting. It's going to be the first. It's going to be one for my CV. I've never been to Dubai, so I get to go to Dubai. I get to fight on the biggest platform in the world in Dubai, and I get to put on a show, come home victorious. And then I say, "Where's the money, baby? Where's the money?" I'll put my white fur jacket on and go out to Connor and say, "Show me the money, baby."
So there's no nerves at all?
No, I'm not nervous at all. I've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. He should be nervous. A man that's got nothing to lose is a dangerous man. And I am very dangerous.
No nerves, excited, and you're fight ready.
Fight ready. Show me the money.
Yeah, well, may the best man win, because I know that you've got no animosity against Aaron Chalmers, and he's, by all accounts...
I hope both of us go home safe to our families. That's all I'd say.
That's a nice thing to say.
You know, and I'd like to stay in contact with him after, because I think he's a very nice man. We've had no beef, and I wish him all the best for the fight. And may the best man win.
Let's move on to the other fight you've got in your life that you've had going on for a little while now. You've been fighting to see your newborn baby for how long now?
A year and a half.
18 months. So for me, I remember when your daughter was born and, well, everything seemed to be perfect. The way the whole flow of your life. And I suppose I want to get into this, because I know that you're happy to talk about it because it's obviously affected you. And a lot of men out there that have to fight through the family court or fight against their ex-partner just to see their children and they get weaponised against them. We have to remember that the majority of people that end up ending themselves are men, and it's this exact kind of pressure that will push a man to the edge. So I sympathise.
80% of men that suicide is because of relationship and stopping to see their children.
So what's happened and how is it affecting you? Because there will be light at the end of the tunnel.
I go through it every night, if I'm honest. You know, people see one side of me on social media. I do be as real as I can, but it does get to me. Everything was fine. Everything was perfect. 3 years, never had an argument. We was happy. We had the baby. It was lovely. I was out working. I come back. I say it loud. I say it proud. She was sitting there with a baby, newborn baby, and she was crying. Obviously, as a man, I want to defend her. What's wrong? What's wrong? Tim, what's wrong? Why are you crying? My mum's abusing me. Therefore, I'm like sticking up for my missus. Well, tell me, because of you and your social media, she's found you on social media. Well, what? Because I'm real. Everyone's got a past. I don't know what she's seen or what she didn't like or what she was filming. I never once filmed my missus with her boobs out or naked. My missus was always have a laugh with me on there. So instead of my missus sticking up for me and saying, shut your mouth, that's my fella, he fends for us, he said, like, don't get involved. I don't know what else has gone on, and obviously the family got in her head. And yeah, that was it, mate. We went to the registry. We agreed that I don't need a relationship with her family. I'm here for you. I've got our family. And I said, my words, don't let your family you come from ruin the family that we're building. It's so important. No one knows me like you know me. I'm a good guy. I've never raised my hand to a woman. I've never even argued with her. It was crazy. I give her what she want. We went on holidays. I started the business. It was ludicrous. It's mad. So I just want to defend my own name while I'm on this channel, because this is what men go through, and it gets spun round. And it always, the man's the bad one. And, you know, there's bad in both. I'm not saying there's not, but they spin it like it's you. And it come down to money. She was telling me how much money she wanted each week, and it was ludicrous amount. And she was going into my business, which is not my business, by the way. I work for the business. I pay myself a wage. But it's just ludicrous. What finish it was, Liam, was we went to the registry office. Well, we agreed that we're going to have this family. We're going to ignore everyone outside. This is us. We haven't had an argument. We've got a baby. Let's just love. Let's be happy. Let's carry on the way we are. I don't need a relationship with your family. They don't like me. That's fair enough. We went to the registry office to sign the baby, and she sprung it on me then that she wants her name on the birth certificate. And I'm very old-fashioned. I was like, whoa, you can't just spring that on me right now in the registry office. And there was a lady in there. She was like, well, I think it's right until you get married. I said, whoa, who's talking to you? I said, you just pipe down. I said, listen, we're getting married this year. You're engaged. Why would you want your name on the birth certificate? I want my name. It's kicking off. So I've gone outside the registry office. I had a little 5 minutes of myself fuming. I can't believe she just sprung this on me now. So
initially, she didn't want your surname on there?
She wanted to be her. And then she agreed the 4-barrel name, which I didn't want anyway. Why would you? She was like, yeah, come off in a year when we get married. Why do you want to put it on there to take it off if you're that confident we're going to get married? Why would you do that? If you're confident that our relationship's good and we're going to get married, it would just be Symonds, no? It's a no-brainer. And she was like, no, I want it. I said, look, I'll sign this, but if I sign it, I'm going. I can't do this. It's loyalty and respect. I can't, the way you've been treating me the last 4 weeks, the way I was treated was unreal. It was all very controlling. It might have been our hormones over the top. I was just basically a piece of meat going out, going to work, coming home and paying the bills. I weren't allowed no relationship with my child, and I felt disgusted. But we kept on. I thought, okay, this is part of pregnancy. We get over this. But then her mum got involved and whatnot, her family, and turned her the other way. And then
and so her mum and dad were fine with you for years. Up until...
Well, I didn't really see too much. I've seen them a few times, once at Christmas and once before. So I think I was a secret, mate, if I'm totally honest with you.
Oh, wow. And then they saw your social media.
And then her mum asked me for my social media in the hospital when my missus gave birth. She went, can I have your social media so I can just check on photos of the baby? And I gave her my social media, and then a week later, it all kicked off.
So they didn't like how you act on social media?
Yeah.
And as a consequence, your family is now in turmoil?
It's gone. I have no, it's crazy, the mum obviously was shanting up in the kitchen, having a bottle of wine most probably, and abused her daughter. It's madness, and I'm saying it out there because these things happen, and I believe in if you've got a family, don't let the family you come from ruin the family that you got and you're building.
So the custody battle, what's the excuse for you not being able to see your daughter?
She just won't let me. She said that I disappeared for 4 months. Hence, yes, I did, because I left. I left because I said that I'd leave if I signed the birth certificate. So I went home, I got 2 black bags and I packed, put them in my car. I was sofa surfing around, staying in B&Bs, trying to keep my business afloat. Went to the council, tried to get a place off the council. They couldn't do nothing. Again, they said, we can't do anything for you. And there was somebody else in there, obviously you know who, drunk. And I said, but this man here will get somewhere. Well, I can't. And they said, come back tomorrow. I said, where am I meant to go? Sleep on the street. They didn't know that I had a motor. I was sleeping in my motor. This was when it was fresh. I just left. I couldn't rent a property because I couldn't prove paying my taxes because my business weren't running long enough. So I couldn't rent a place. I was absolutely stuck. I said, what do I do? And they was like, sell your business and go and sign on. I was like, you're crazy. So I finally found someone to privately rent me above a pub when I'm sober, 2.5 years sober, put that in there. And I lived above a pub. And now I've just finally got me a little 1-bedroom flat. So that's all good.
But you want to see your daughter?
100%.
And you've never once said that you don't?
No.
So you left your partner but not your daughter?
100%.
And because of that, you're now being prevented from seeing your daughter?
Well, we had an agreement. We had a meeting. This must have been about 2 months ago. And she was there, no baby. And I didn't see my baby for months and months. And I was like, where's the baby? She's like, this meeting's about me and you. And I was like, okay. I was so disappointed. I thought I was going to see my daughter. And she just said, like, these are the rules. You see her on my terms. I want X amount of money, and always comes down to money. She just was too greedy. I'll pay her now every month, but what she's entitled to. Some women want to be greedy. And then I went down to proper measures, and I pay her what she's entitled to. I've just had a letter off the CSA, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why, because she gets what she's entitled to, so I will be replying, but she's just trying to ruin me.
Has it affected your mental health?
At the start, Liam, I was in a bad way. I relapsed. I relapsed for a weekend at the start, and I'm lucky I snapped out of it. And I was just like, what have I done? What am I doing? But I'm back on my journey. I'm back on my trail. I'm going to have to go through family courts and go that route.
That's costly. I'm
going to get the fight out of the way, and then I'm going to have to do it. But again, it's money, 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 money. There's no reason for her not to let me see my baby. I just want to be a dad. And I've said this in messages. Can I just be a dad? Like, you tell me. So we was meant to meet last week, and I said, about 3 weeks ago, we had an agreement, and I booked up a playpen for 10 o'clock in the morning in Braintree in Essex. And I said, I booked this 10 o'clock, and she just ripped back, no. Why not? I don't want to go there. You go where I want to go. It's on my terms. And I'm not going at 10 o'clock. It has to be earlier and where I want to go. I said, but it's not about you. It's about the baby and me. I said, you're going to sit there and watch because I'm a threat. I have a coffee while I play with my child and get to know and bond. Nope. Go through the courts. I don't want to talk to you no more. She's blocked me. I haven't spoken to her since.
And the thing is, the only winners are the solicitors that charge the sky-high fees. And surely you'd like to think people that are going through a similar battle, that both parents would be adults. You know, it's not like you've got a vicious past that you're irresponsible. Like you're full of love and protection. Surely adults should sit together and be like, do you know what? We didn't work out, but let's make sure that the child doesn't suffer, because this is the problem with the UK at the moment. The family unit is being torn apart, and these kids are being grown up with no role models no more, and they're going off the rails at a young age. I mean, I wish people would just take notice of the importance of men and women, even if they're not together, just pull together for the sake of the child.
I just want to be a dad. I just want to see my child. And it's killed me deep down. I'm still hurting, but look, life goes on. We'll get there eventually, and you got to stay strong. And my message out there to anybody going through this, just hang in there. Just hang in there. One, you're going to win. You're going to win it in court, and you're going to get to see your child. Two, if not, just stay there, because when the child gets old enough, they're going to want to know why, and they're going to want to come and find you, and then you can sit and explain.
Yeah, very heartbreaking, mate. What about your support network? Now, I've seen that, I mean, obviously know that you and 𝐾𝐿 are good friends, and I always know when you're struggling because I recognise the eyes, and then I always see 𝐾𝐿 will pop up on your stories, and so how's your support network and how's that friendship with 𝐾𝐿? Because I know he's a lovely,
I'd say he's one with you. He's one of my best mates. He's always there. Every day we talk, and I tell you, we don't just phone each other up. I don't think we've ever phoned each other. It's always a FaceTime. And if none of us answer the FaceTime, we get a message. Why are you not answering the FaceTime? Are you all right? And then yeah.
What, do you think you've relapsed again?
Yeah, or something. But no, I love him, and they're so hard to find out there, Liam. These real ones. And
𝐾𝐿 is loyal, isn't he?
𝐾𝐿's loyal.
Full of love.
Yeah, he's a good man. If I've got a problem, I'll phone him and he'll listen, and vice versa. You know, there's been a couple of times he's phoned me up and I've been like, go on, mate. Listen, it's going to be all right. I'm here. Because he's going through stuff every now and again. You know, his nut ain't too good. Sorry, 𝐾𝐿. But he has good days and he might have a bad day. But he knows deep down, and I've told him this, whatever the weather, Trevor, I'm always there on that phone.
There's a nice balance there. You support each other. And I suppose by me bringing that up, that's another thing I like to encourage anyone that watches or listens to the show is that people in general need to build each other up. But I think a lot more men need to support other men. Not everyone's competition. Jealousy is non-required. If someone's doing better at you at some stage in life, clap when they win because you'll meet them on the way down if you don't. And I think you and 𝐾𝐿 are a shining example of friends and men supporting each other, and it's something I personally love to see because I see too much of the dark side of life, too much backstabbing.
There's too many dogs out there, and
that secret envy. And
so some people who just want you. I've had it done to me. 𝐾𝐿's had it done to him, and just use you. 𝐾𝐿 knows I'm the real one, and I know he's a real one. Don't want nothing from him. I just want to make sure that he's loved and he's good. But there's too many people out there that just want to try and get what they can out of you. And then if you're doing better than them, they don't like it. They get jealous and hate, and that's just sad to see. Let us all make it. Let's all go together to the top.
Now, let's talk about something I saw on, I think it was your TikTok, an attempted terror attack. I mean, that blew my mind, that story. So... And we haven't really had a proper chance to speak about. You've been in boot camp. You're training for the biggest fight of your life. Would you say?
Biggest fight of my life.
So we've not really had the opportunity. So where better than to tell me the full story here? You was running one morning and someone jumped out with a weapon.
Yeah, we was running down South Bank. Must have been about 4:30 in the morning. 20 to 5. We do a 10K. Obviously, I was behind. I was third. There was a youngish kid in front. I think he had his phone in his hand. Well, he must have. And then my other friend was to the right. As he was jogging, he was in front of me. Some man just dived out of a stairwell. And he's like gone for him. My other friend, he's a bit tasty. He spun round and just kicked him straight through the chest. He's a kickboxer. Boom, kicked him straight through. Obviously, I've come running down the side and I've seen a chain wrapped round his hand, like a bicycle chain. Well, as I've come down the side, I've hit him with a 3-shot combination. I couldn't put this man down with love no money. He just spun round. He started swinging punches at me. I'm pretty moving about, ducking and diving. I've hit him another 4 times. Another couple of people run up, and then he run off. I was just like, what has just gone on? This is absolutely ludicrous. What? I was amazed. I wanted to go chase him and find him, and everyone was like, just chill. I was like, I can't have this. That could have been some woman going to work. That could have been someone's child going to school. We've carried on running, come over the bridge, Big Ben, come back down. We're going around London, Tower of London, and there's all like bushes and trees, and I see 3 illegal immigrants. Liam, on my life, sitting there with their hoods up in a bush. Not sleeping, sitting there on the prowl. This must know 7K, so must have been about 5:15 in the morning. People are going to work, and they're there on the prowl, waiting to rob you. And I've seen it for my own eyes. I could not believe what I was witnessing. Disgusting.
People will be watching this wanting to know how you know they was illegal.
We're the real ones. And if you're watching this and you're real, you know what I'm saying. You could tell.
Foreign.
You could tell they was foreign. At 5:15 in the morning, plotted up behind these bushes, waiting to pounce.
That's frightening.
Let's be real about it. There ain't no.
So is that why you thought that when the guy jumped out with a chain that it was an attempted terror attack?
100%. 100%. He was screaming in some different language I don't know. I don't know if he was drunk. He come out of a stairwell and he chased the other two, but I've come behind. I've got him from the side and I've hit him 3 times. Thought I'd get him out of the game with my mate. Just kicked him. He didn't see me there. Well, I couldn't put it. He must have been high on drugs or on alcohol. He swung a couple of punches, tried to do me. I've ended up doing him again and he's run off. Just disappeared. A couple of my pals were like, just chill, Chas. You got a fight coming up. What are you doing? You're going to break your hands. I'm like, I can't believe what I've just witnessed. Like, why did he just come out of that stairwell and he run at them two? I don't know if it was the kid's phone that he wanted or what. It was ludicrous, Liam. You couldn't write it.
But you know what? And I'm lucky that there were people there that can have a fight, because he may have had something else in his pocket to want to do something more sinister.
You don't know what he had in his pocket. You know, he could have pulled out a knife and stabbed me and killed me. You don't know.
A chain will do enough damage.
God, I've got a fight coming up. So if he caught me and split me open, that's it. Fight's gone. Like, it's ludicrous. But it's hard to say. I had a couple of people going, oh, yeah, this really happened. It did really happen. I don't need to lie. This really happened. And it was, and I've seen it from my own eyes. And I did put it out there on the social media. Not because I want anyone to like it or comment on it. I wanted to bring awareness that that's your child you're sending to school on their own. You be careful. You walk your child to that school, or you get in a car or a taxi, because it ain't safe. London's not safe no more. Your wife going to work on her own. You take your wife to work before something happens. What's got to happen in this country before things start majorly changing? Has it got to be some MPs or wife or daughter to get terribly hurt? I wish to God it doesn't, but no one's listening, and the working class are paying for it. Innocent people are paying for it, and their lives are getting taken away that we know nothing about, because they're not putting on social media or on the news, and they're not telling you what's really happening. This is real life, and it's all hidden.
Anyone with a social media presence, I'm finding, no matter what we discuss on this podcast, it always comes back round to the state of the country, because they see it privately and they're infuriated. So if you want to vent, fill your boots. Like, what's your fault? The state of the country now? How's it making you feel as a working class man?
I've had enough. I'm paying all these taxes, VAT. I've just started a business. I'm working morning till night. For what? To bring people over? Look, I'm not as knowledgeable as other people in this and what's going on. So I'm just a normal working class guy, not really into my politics, not into what's going on. But what I'm seeing, I tell you, and I believe that this country is overrun and overpopulated with illegal immigrants that are coming over on boats. If they are no threat to this country, then pay for a plane ticket and come over and apply for a visa, get a job, pay your taxes, live a happy life. That's beautiful. But when you're coming over on a boat, paying 5 times the price of it than a plane, there's got to be a reason for it. There's got to be a reason for you coming over on the boat, and you're coming over, and then we are there to put you in hotels while we have veterans on the streets, freezing cold. I see one with a veteran on the streets opposite a hotel not long ago, and it was full of immigrants, and this poor veteran that fought for our country was on the streets, and it's disgusting. And this gets put under the carpet. It's like everything's going well, and it's not. It's not. The government is, can I say it, corrupt and bent. And I'm just saying, from a normal working class geezer, I'm getting taxed left, right, and centre. I'm struggling to survive, even though I've got my own business. I feel I'm working. to pay for hotels, to pay for this. My money, if my money's going to a good cause, my tax money, my VAT or whatnot, so be it. If I'm eating and this man here that fought for the country's eating and he's in a nice warm hotel, then I'm happy. But if this person's coming over on a boat and a week later, 2 children get going to school and we can't trace them, we don't know who they are because they come over on a boat, they're illegals, and no one knows where to get them, and it gets put under the carpet. Sorry, we can't find them, we don't know who they are, we got no evidence, we've took DNA but they're not registered. Well, whose fault is that? Stop the boats, because everyone's suffering and everyone's scared now for our children, our children's children. What is this country going to be like in years to come when we're not here? Because I spoke to my mum last night and she's leaving in 2 years. And she's a pensioner, and she doesn't feel safe walking to the shop on her own. It's disgusting. Wow. I remember being a child, and I bet you do, playing out till it got dark, playing 40-40. These kids now, their parents want them in their room playing the PlayStation because it's more safer, even though you still get them trying to talk to you on the computer, but you got to keep an eye on it. But I just think, the country's gone downhill, and we need to follow suit with America and polish it up.
And I would say another thing to add to that is, if we stop the benefits, that's a massive incentive that they lose. That will encourage them to stay where they are, perhaps, and not come over and exploit us and suck the teat of our generosity. Although I don't even think it is generosity. I think it's corrupt and orchestrated, very frightening. And I'm glad you shared your views on that as a working class man. And another question I was going to ask is, do you feel like as a working class man that you're getting any kind of support? But you kind of answered it that you're not. You're paying taxes left, right, and centre for things that you don't want your taxes to be.
When I went to the council, when I split with the ex and I had nowhere to live, they left me on the street. They left me on the street. I was the only English white guy in there saying, I don't know what to do. I'm dyslexic. I've got nowhere to live. Can you help me? Can you help me? And they was like, we're sorry, we ain't going to be able to do nothing today for you. And then there was a geezer in there drunk, the police coming in, and I was like, this is absolutely ludicrous. But I've lived and worked all my life in this country and they've just sent me on my way. Look, they didn't know that I had a car outside. I slept in the car, I did. But they didn't know I had a car, so I'd have been left on the street. No one, I give them my number, no one contacted me after I went to the council, Basildon Council. No one contacted me to say, we're going to put you in a shared accommodation or no, they left me for dead.
And you see what you've just said there? You've just pointed out that foreign nationals have been put in front of you, and as a British citizen, you feel like you're being put second place. Well, like you're being put last. Now, I have heard that on repeat more times than you can imagine. It's not just the elephant in the room. It's one of the most biggest bones of contention within the UK at the moment. The British citizens are being treated last, especially now we got Starmer.
It's happening, but we're the working class.
In number 10. But when you make comments like that, you'll find that people will now start twisting your words, twisting the meaning of what you want to say, demonise you as a human being. So my next question will be, because I know that you've been quite vocal in your disappointment of the country and the way it's going, and the invasion of people that are coming in that have got no paperwork or documents, and we just don't know who they are, and they bring their culture and their ideologies with them, and so we don't know what we're up against. So by you saying that, has that affected your life? Let's say, has it affected your work life? Have clients been put off giving you business because of your views on the country?
No. I'm just real and I'm just honest, and I'm saying what the people want to say and what they're thinking. Obviously, I get my platforms restricted many times because you're not allowed to talk out. You're not allowed to say what's going on. But I'm just trying to represent the working class, trying to make something. And listen, I fall down every day and I just keep getting up and keep going. And if I can inspire anyone to do that, I will. But I get work, so I thank everyone for that. I'm just disappointed with how the working class They need us to keep working, but yet they're just taking everything from us. And we're struggling and finding it hard to support our own families, to pay our bills, to keep our head above water. But yet I see something on, I'm pretty sure it was Twitter, a lady, there's nothing about race or colour. And she was saying, just want to thank the working class out, the English people, working class that are working and paying for my benefits. I'm having a fantastic life. She's done that to be sort of funny, but rub it in their faces. And we're fed up. We're fed up. Stop the benefits. Stop the boats. And if you can't stop the boats, stop the benefits, because they'll stop coming because they're not getting nothing. They're coming over, they're getting a mobile phone, and I've been told that that's to track them. They get a mobile phone, they get put in houses, they get £200 a week. They have more children because they get more benefits. When's it going to stop? When's it going to stop?
Well, it's good that you've not had any clients turn their back on you. Have your political views caused you any other problems? Any family feuds? Because that's common.
No, I've had a few death threats from people, as you do on social media. Obviously, the truth hurts. Everyone's entitled to opinion. Everyone's, so if that bothers you, just unfollow. There's nothing I can do for that. I'm just being honest and being real and just having a voice for the people that don't get heard. I remember going to Armistice Day, and one of my friends, he took down all the posts that I'd done with him and whatnot, stopped talking to me, text me. I was seen with you, the big man, TR. I was called a racist because I was out supporting my country.
Paying your respects to the fallen.
But yet now it's hot, and when something's hot, then them same people are jumping on the bandwagon talking about it. Now, we're all talking about it, but it wasn't, everyone was scared to. But when I was seen and I was talking about it and it was Remembrance Day and come out and show your respect for the fallen, I was a racist. I can't be seen with you.
I tell you what, that is a real sad sign of the times when you get spotted and papped paying your respects at the cenotaph on Armistice Day, and it causes problems and frictions with friends and family and work colleagues or whoever's got a problem with it. And furthermore, to be branded a racist for respecting the people that have fought for our freedom is insane. And that is kind of the left narrative that they spin to try and knock the patriotism out of you and the love for the country. They don't want you championing Great Britain because they want it to become a multicultural utopia, which is insane. We can all live together, but we can also be very proud of our country because, I mean, it's far more civilised than most.
There's just a few rules you got to live by, and I'm far from racist, but I believe that if you come into a country, be willing to work, pay your taxes, don't kill, be nice. We're all human beings. You can support Allah, God, Jesus, whoever you want to support. That's cool. Everyone's got a belief. If it's different, it's different. If it's the same, it's the same. I don't care if you're purple, blue, green. But if you want to start bringing your own religion and hating on other religions and certain people coming over on boats and raping children and women and using knives. Listen, I always say this, I get messages. Yes, we have got rapists and people that kill people that are white English or black English. I'm not disputing that. But what I'm saying is we got enough problems with our own people in our country. So why have we just tripled them problems? Now it's definitely not safe to let your children out.
I know exactly what you mean, and it's terrible because that was a great thing you said. We've got enough of our own scumbags to deal with. My own father being one of them, and I dealt with him. In our own community, we have got enough scum and wretched individuals to deal with, expose, incarcerate, and get rid of to make the streets safer. We don't need any more, thank you very much. You mentioned you were spotted with TR. So you've been to visit Tommy Robinson in prison.
Yes.
Now, I'd imagine you would have signed an NDA.
Yep.
In fact, I wouldn't imagine. I know you've signed an NDA. So you can't talk about what you discussed on the visit because that would jeopardise future visits. But how did it feel and how did Tommy appear to you when you visited him in jail?
I love the man and I've got the utmost respect for the man, and he gets put under the bus so much, and he's one of your own. He's a working class man. He's one of us, and he's got a bigger set of balls than anybody I know, and he's gone through with everything he said he would. Us as people have got to show him that utmost respect, but when I visited him, it's just...
Did it upset you?
Yeah, it did upset me. I gave him a big hug and squeezed him, and you could feel him squeeze you, where you just knew, like, being put in there like an absolute animal, and he's not. He's banged up for telling the truth.
When you said goodbye to him, so you spent a couple of hours with him in a visiting room, and then when you say goodbye to him, and you go back home and you see that he's sat there in solitary confinement and he's got to go back to his cell. As someone that respects the work that he's done over the years, how did that make you feel?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I couldn't think what that man's going through in his mind. It's going to send anybody crazy, and they know that. That's why they're doing it. They're not doing it they know they're going to send him crazy, and they want to send him crazy, and they want to finish him in there. If I'm totally honest with you, I believe that he's strong. I just hope that he gets through this. I really do. And the likes of like yourself that go and visit him regularly and give him that spirit to keep fighting is fantastic. I can't wait to go and see him again, lift his spirits. That's all we got. That's all we can do. It's not the screws or anybody else. It's the hierarchy that are sending orders what to do with him.
And also something to consider for people watching and listening that have got their objections to Tommy because they've only ever heard one side of the argument, which is understandable because the mainstream paint him out to be something he's not. If he was an actual racist, I wouldn't be friends with him, and neither would you.
It's crazy. They're going to put him under the bus. So many different things, and you find it with so many people on social media. If you've got a voice, they're going to try and finish you for whatever they can think of to do.
And exactly that. If they can do it to Tommy, they can do it to you. They can do it to anybody. If they want you silenced and bankrupt and your mental health in tatters, they'll know exactly what to do, and no one's off limits. So no one think that, one day you could be sat there sitting pretty, you can start airing your views one day. They may not like it. You may start reaching too many people for their liking. And when they come down on you, they do it with the sole purpose of completely destroying you. So I admire anybody that speak out against the establishment.
I don't see... One second. I just want to say as well, I have Muslim friends, different colour friends. There is no race. And if you think this is acceptable, then you need to go and give your head a wobble. All we are saying, and you'll be with me, is if you're coming into a country, behave your fucking self. Yeah? Leave the children alone. I don't care what beliefs you're in. You're in the UK. Abide by our rules. Leave the children alone. Leave our women alone. Come to work. Put something back into the community. Pay your taxes. And live a happy life. And just be nice and kind. There's a reason why these people coming over are not going to other countries, because they won't let them in because they're wrong uns. And it amazes me why we're like, come on in. Well, if these other countries are saying no, why are we not saying no?
So moving on, you said about you've received death threats in your inbox. Yeah. But aside from the death threats, because I think anybody that says anything against immigration, they get exactly the same. But that aside, when you're out and about, because you've got a big presence, you're a public figure. What's the general reaction you get from the general public?
I get a lot of love. I've got to say, the working class. I love the working class people, and I'm just on my platform just trying to represent, to let the working class know that we go through struggles and every day ain't great. And I put it out there so it helps me alone, because if I preach it, I've got to do it. And I just try and help as many people as I can. And I've been being successful in that. The amount of messages I get through, someone, not going to say no names, was going to end it. And they said, I watched your video. I just want to thank you. And one fella, he's got a business now and he's very successful and he had nothing. He was like, you inspired me. So if I inspire one person, we're winning. That's all I want to do, is let people learn from a fall. I made every mistake that life could give. And I thought I finally got me life back until what happened with my ex, with the baby. But we go again. Listen, it ain't all going to be smooth sailing. We're going to hit these little bumps and waves. We just got to, I just want to let people know, never give up, keep going. One day's bad, the next day might be good.
And talking about today, current time, I know that obviously what you've been through the last year and a half, it's enough to knock any man off his feet. So your head would have been all over the place. But as we sit here now, how's your head in this current moment?
60, 70%.
60, 70%. That's a very honest, admirable answer.
I still have bad days. I still don't want to get up in some mornings. I still think, why? Why me all the time? It's hard. It's hard. I just want to be a dad, and there's always something. There's always something that people don't see and people see on social media, and I'm not the only one. Many people are hurting out there. And you sit at home, and I live on my own, and that's cool. I work my arse off. Sometimes it gets to me, mate. It gets to me. I'll just be sitting there. Why? And then you get lies, and then I've had someone phone me up, and this was a while back, and said that I was aggressive. My ex-missus feels threatened. I've never had the police called once. I said that I threw my baby about. She was just trying everything she can. She said that I was aggressive and I was throwing my baby around. I couldn't believe it, what I was hearing. I had her there, throw her up like that, and blow raspberries on her cheek and throw her up, and she was laughing. And my missus come over and snatched the baby. I said, don't you do that to her. I said, I'm playing with the baby. So she was going through where she just had a child. I couldn't I couldn't feed the baby. She wanted to do it all on her own. And I remember that. And I said, I got the ump, obviously, and I said to the lady on the phone, how about this one? Go fuck yourself and tell her to go fuck herself. And she went, oh, so it's true then. I said, believe whatever you want to believe. And then it was like another 3 months down the line. I got back in contact with the ex. I was just, then we started talking. I was like, can I see? I've only seen my baby twice in a year and a half. And I said, look, what's done is done. What's gone is gone. It's just, I just want to be a dad. Can I come see the baby? And I couldn't go around there. So we met. And I said to her, why did you say what you said to the lady that phoned me up? Why did you say that? Why would you lie? And she was like, you did throw the baby. I said, I was playing at the time in the front when the baby was laughing. I said, so you've said that I was throwing the baby and I was very aggressive. I said, so you need to phone the lady and tell her exactly what happened, because that's not fair on me. You know, I've never once raised my hand to you. I've give you what you want. I've never once raised my voice to you. And you've just put me under the bus like that to try and stop me seeing my kid the hardest you can do to make it hard for me. I don't know where to go about going to courts, and obviously I'm dyslexic. I'm not the brightest spark, and I haven't got the money to go through courts, if I'm honest with you. I haven't. I've just started a business. I'm trying to keep that afloat with getting taxed this and taxed that. It's hard work. So I haven't, when people watch me, I haven't got it sewn up. Far from it.
If she was watching this, is there anything you'd want to plead with her? You know, can we come to an agreement? Does it need to be like this?
I've tried. The last time we come to an agreement, I agreed to both things except for the third one, which was more money. Why should I? I said, on the third one, no problem. You're entitled. I give you your money each month, what you're entitled to from what I get my wages. As for the baby, I'll buy her what she needs when she needs, whatever she wants, the baby will get. But I'm not willing to give you money to go out with your mates while your mum looks after my child. I'm not willing to do that, Liam. I'm sorry, ladies. Look, I was paying her cash and I shouldn't have at the start, giving her money. And then I had to start transferring it through the banks, I was told. So I started doing that. And she was getting well over the amount. And then she started being greedy. She said, I want more. And I said, no, you're not getting no more. I was like, you're not even letting me see my child. Will pay me more. It's crazy. Now she gets what she's entitled to. And I've said I'll give the baby whatever the baby needs. Clothes, nappies, I'll do it all. Food. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do.
Surely in return you should have the privilege of seeing your child in return if you are contributing.
She's told me to go courts because she knows I can't. So I've got someone, my sister, that's going to help me after this fight. I'm going to have to go through the courts.
Good.
And I'm not giving up.
I'm glad you've said that because this is actually the biggest fight of your life.
This will be. And, there's no reason why she can stop me. Surely. I know men don't, but surely I want to be a dad. I want to take my child on holiday. I want to take my child to the park. I want to have fun,
Yeah, well, I really, really hope that resolves itself because, every child needs their mum and their dad, and it's becoming an all too familiar scenario. So the future for you, Chas, apart from fighting to see your daughter, which I sincerely hope that you are victorious there, and you will be. You've never given up on anything in your life yet, and you've always come out on top in the end, so it'll work out. But other than that, on the whole, until we're sat here again in another year's time, for anyone listening, what does the future hold for you?
I want to be a successful business owner. I want to get back into acting, into a few films. Obviously, I'm a qualified actor, so I'd like to get back into the acting game. And I've just signed a free fight deal with BKFC, so let's get this fight out of the way. I've already been offered another fight in May, but I'm not thinking ahead. I've got this fight to deal with. I know I've got to do 3 fights for BKFC. Show me the money.
What about the acting? Have you got any little things bubbling that you've kept to yourself?
I've got something that's been said to me that I'll be in a film. I don't know when it's going to start. It might be this year or next year. So yes, right. I know I was going to Rise of the Foot Soldier. I couldn't go back in that because I was Brandon Block and he was a big franchise, so they couldn't put me in it. BFA.
And what? Just so, in case this is the first time someone's tuned into you, what films have you been in?
Bermondsey Tales, Rise of the Foot Soldier, Origins, Miss Kiss. 3 films, yeah.
Well, that's 3 films you've been in more than most people have been in.
Yeah, well,
and I think that's a good channel for you. The acting.
I'd love to get into acting. I remember doing Rise of the Foot Soldier Origins, and Nicky, Nev and Andy Loveday said it was only a little part, it was a DJ part, but it became a big franchise as Brandon Block. And they said, if you wanted to push forward on your acting career, then go to acting school. And I remember I was scaffolding at the time, and I saved my money up, and I think I paid $2,500 for a course. It was absolutely incredible. But I passed. It was crazy, but I got my certificate. I think it was a 8-week intense acting course. So I've got that. And then I went back and I've done Bermondsey Tales, a little bit in Miss Kiss. And yeah, looking for opportunities. I've spoke to Andy Loveday from Carnaby Films, and he's got a big film coming out. I'm not sure if it's this year or next year. So yeah, we're hoping to get in that one. Hopefully I'll get a nice little role.
So there's a lot of good stuff lined up. BKFC, that's good. That'll open some doors for you. Some films lined up. Obviously, you've got to grit your teeth and roll your sleeves up and fight with your daughter.
I've gone through so much shit, so many lows. It's just normal, mate.
But now you're ready for the highs.
Ready for the highs, baby. Saying that, I drove down here at 30 miles an hour, the motor went into limp mode. I thought, no. But
anything else you want to say to finish this off?
Just want to thank everybody out there for the support. And if anybody out there on the media is going through anything, just remember, if we wake up tomorrow, we're the lucky ones. So you keep going. Don't give up just yet, because you never know what tomorrow brings. And I believe in you, and big shout out to the working class. Thank you to Tuffs for having me. Few of my sponsors, KTM, Storage, Rival Tears, sponsoring Stellar Scaffolding, Real Talk Clearance, The Dozen.
And obviously, the final question, where can anybody and everybody find you?
Find me on all social media platforms, 𝐶𝐨𝐬, CHASA, Real Talk, and Real Talk Waste Clearance.
Real Talk Waste Clearance, okay.
Yeah, any waste, building sites, house, garages, we do it all. We're just trying to keep our head above water, as well as just trying to crack on with our dreams and goals.
Well, from me to you, mate, I hope you do keep your head above water. We've obviously got a relationship off camera, so you know I've got your back,
100%.
and I've got nothing but love for your brother, and yeah, I've enjoyed this.
So
thanks for sharing it with me again, brother.
Thank you for having me, and keep going, and you know I love you.
Likewise. Cheers, brother.
Thanks.